This video will show you how to quickly and accurately draw the carpal bones. I find this to be a really helpful sketch to do on a test because, again, when you get into these questions that have lots of descriptors to them, sometimes you can just get a little bit lost and mixed up. So having a drawing that you can sort of anchor yourself in is really helpful. So the way I draw carpal bones is really simply, I just draw them as 2 rows of bricks. So we will have a proximal row. That's at the bottom. And a distal row at the top. I think people find this a little bit confusing, but just remember you always have to come back to your anatomical position. So we're kind of looking at our carpal bones, imagining our hand in front of us, and then in that case, proximal are on the bottom and distal are on the top. Our proximal row and our distal row each have 4 bones, but they're not exactly arranged the same. So in my proximal row, I'm going to divide this into 3, and the last box gets a circle like this. And so if you know your carpal bone mnemonic, it starts out, stop letting those people. So stop letting those people. And so what we've illustrated here is scaphoid, lunate. The T here is triquetrum. We have a few T's in our carpal bones. And so I like to remember that tri means 3, and it's the 3rd in the sequence. And then pisiform, which is our little sesamoid bone, sits up on top of triquetrum, which is why I draw them this way. Our distal row, we can split pretty evenly into 4. Now we have 2 more T's. The first one is a T. This is trapezium, rhymes with thumb. That tells us that this is the lateral side or the thumb side. Okay, so trapezius rhymes with thumb. Then we have the last T, trapezoid, capitate, and hamate, which you know has the hook. So if we know that we have proximal, distal, and thumb side, we can pretty much answer anything. I'm going to add in just the shape of the radius and the ulna distally to remember that the radius flares out wide, and we find that on the lateral side, and the ulna is quite narrow, and we find that on the medial side. I hope that helps.